Does AI mean you don't need to work hard anymore? I've been working for nearly a decade with AI, building it, breaking it, and working out what actually works. So I'll be calling BS on all of the bad advice.
And I'm here to keep it human as we go up in the AI.
I'm James.
I'm Tanya, and welcome to Up in AI. All right, so let's dig in. You asked the question, does AI mean that we don't have to work hard anymore? I'm
Mhm.
curious. BS or no BS? What do you think?
Straight to it then, is it?
Yeah, I love it, call it out.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a concept that's hanging around at the moment. If you can automate all of this, have your army of agents, do you really need to work? Can you just kick back on the beach whilst your agents do or everything 24/7? No sleep, no holidays, no sick days. It's interesting for sure, but I think it's bullshit, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have the picture of people in social media going, kick back, relax, have your cocktails, your Mai Tais, and while AI is just busy doing all the hard work for you, I can't believe it's true. It's just, yeah. So what is it then? What is it? What are the things or the common misconceptions you think that people might think that AI is going to just make their life super easy?
Let's be honest, there's two aspects to this. One is where we are right now. And the truth is, for most tasks, we're still not at a place where AI can do things without a human in the loop. And the second thing is competition. As we get to a point where AI does more and more for us automatically, the people that keep working hard, they're going to be producing even more work. They're going to be billing, they're going to be doing more billable hours, they're going to be earning more money. So that bar is just going to keep rising. It's not as though we're all going to sit back and relax and say, hey, yeah, now AI's here. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, for me, I know there's a lot of differences. So I'm not saying it's the same, but go back in history when we've had any kind of industrial revolution, and the trend has been that it's not putting us all out of work. It is that it's creating new opportunities for us to step into and releasing us from the kind of humdrum stuff that we are probably better than. We've got more about us to then just sit there and do these mundane things over and over. Okay. So you
Yeah,
mentioned that.
it's definitely gonna open up creativity, right? Like, I'm not saying that, suddenly we're gonna find other things to do that are gonna be just as crappy and mundane as what we were doing before. No, I mean, the people that win with this AI movement are gonna be the ones that are adding that human element, that tangible creativity, the interaction between two human beings, because AI will be doing all of the other stuff. But it's going to free these people up to do that, right? So if you're already a hard worker and okay, you say, right, you no longer have to reconcile your accounts, you no longer have to organize your emails, you no longer have to go out there and do research because the results are handed to you. A hard worker isn't going to go, woohoo, time to go to the beach and have a Mai Tai. They're going to go, what, right, now I can really get down to business. Now I can record content. Now I can go shake hands. I can go to networking dues. Like, those people are going to explode with potential. So for those people, it's just going to go through the roof.
Yeah, I agree with you. It totally makes sense that the mindset of someone won't just shift immediately just because they've got someone. It's like hiring employees in your business, isn't it? It's not like all of a sudden you've hired in two new employees and you're like, great, I can go on holiday. Bye. I'll leave you guys to it.
Yeah, yeah,
Doesn't happen.
yeah.
So that's a really good point. I know, just going back to something that you said was really interesting because in my early start of the AI journey, I got really excited, when I was progressing beyond just your chat GPT conversations and thinking, what else can AI do that can help me? And one of the things that I really struggle with so much, even now, especially being that kind of stay at home mom and juggling that parenting role and work role, is like managing my personal admin, like reading my emails, keeping me on track, pointing me in the right direction, saying, hey, you've got a meeting coming up in an hour, like, getting just nudging, pointing, helping in that kind of administrative personal admin role. And I looked into creating my own agent. Now I'm hoping I'm using the right terminology here, so that's why you're here. But that meant I had to go and actually um, functionality was that I was talk to it through WhatsApp, through voice, right? And then I would connect that through something like Zapier. I don't think I use Zapier. I think I use Make.
Make it.
To then, and I would have three of them. So one would be on my emails, one would be on my calendar, and one would be in my to-do list. And, I would orchestrate them all through my, WhatsApp voice messaging. I
Yep.
came unstuck so much because at the time, and I couldn't believe this was the first time I experienced it, there was no real information out there on how to do it. One person had done it, and one person's instructions couldn't get me to the success at the end. And then I was like, well, surely other people have done this. And I was like, no, they haven't, especially around WhatsApp. They'd used other things. But I was like, okay, so that was the beginning of this year, not that long ago. So where are we at right now with those kind of helpers, those agents, really,
Yeah, it's a good question. Like I've had my own journey with this. About a year ago, I created my first iteration of my email organizer. And that took me a while, and I let it loose, and it kind of helped in some sense, but it did create more work, like, categorizing things in the wrong place, and writing drafts that I never really needed. And inevitably, I shut it down.
Okay.
And then I moved over to NA10. They had this awesome module back in the day. It's still around now, but back in the day, like 6 months ago, it was game changing, like the AI agent node.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I'm going to, get this project back up and running. It's going to be game changer.
Yeah.
AI word. And it was better. Yeah, it was better. And I was like, I'm missing a user interface. I'm missing the ability to talk to it. So then I did a third iteration of it a few months ago. There, for that, I put all of my emails into a vector database so I could actually talk to them. And I improved the categorization, and again, like I was actually really happy with this one. This is a product we sell, which is the AI EA.
Okay, cool.
But I'll be honest, I've actually shut it down again because of the drafts. The drafts are really annoying me. Like I've got to about 80% of where I need it to be,
Okay.
and it just needs me now to go and give it a load of examples of what's a good reply. And this is the thing that people miss, right?
Yeah.
If this was a client, I would have already done this, because this
Yeah.
is paid work. You're jumping on it, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because this is my own project. And by the way, that's what we have done for clients, right? We've gone into their emails, we have found those replies that they like, we've created tone of voice, we've spent the time because I can justify it. But as a business owner that's got a million things to do, a million people to call, got to drive the business forward with sales,
Yeah.
like I can't actually justify, spending a day to go and work out what are my best emails at this moment in time. It's the thing that people don't understand. Yes, when I finally get this right, which over Christmas is when I've highlighted, when I'm not going to be so busy, I'm going to nail the EA AI once and for all, my own version, because it already does voice. It already has a vector database. It hooks in with my CRM. It hooks in with my LinkedIn. Like the amount of things it actually does is amazing. But the one thing I started with, which is this email categorization, is
Yeah.
the one bit that I've had to turn off. So yeah, sorry. The point is, I've had to work so hard to get this thing up to where it needs to be.
Yep.
In essence, I've enjoyed it. I've loved every minute of it because it's learning and it's doing something new. But it
Sure.
would have been quicker for me to actually just organize my emails myself.
Or hire a human. That's what I keep thinking. It's like you've hired a human,
Yeah.
fired them, hired a human, fired them,
Yeah.
and now you hired a third human and you're like, "Okay, you might get
Yeah.
fired too." 100%. And
Yeah.
with a human, like, you just feel that you can give them some, give them instruction, but they're gonna have that additional, like, experience and thinking power to kind of use that to get to your intended output for them, what they're gonna do. Whereas this seems to be like it takes absolute accuracy in your instruction, and it's only going to follow that. So you get that wrong, you're going to get a bunch of mishmash stuff happening. It's really
It's
interesting.
so important. What you just said is so, so important.
Yeah.
People think that AI is at a point where it can critically think, where it can go, this isn't right, but maybe I can use this other thing over here that hasn't got a logical link. But because I'm a human being, I can make that link in my own brain and then pop it in. AI isn't there. It's not there.
Yeah.
AI can do things within its realm, within its guardrails, within its programming, but it can't do that extra thing yet. We're not at AGI. Um, and and yeah, look, you are right. I could have hired. It was a bit like hiring and firing human beings. Um, and the difference is though, technology has evolved over that time. So I think the next iteration will push over the edge because it's not just my stuff. Like I've used a lot of these email organizing tools as well,
Yeah.
partly because I wanted to make sure I wasn't wasting my time, partly because I wanted to steal their ideas and pop it into mine. And they all have the same problem. Like they do part of it really well. They do like 60, 70, maybe even 80% well, but the 20% that they don't do well actually causes extra work and it's frustrating. Like when you build one of these things, you just want it to be like bang, perfect in my inbox. The emails are going where I need them to be. The replies are perfect. I know that's probably living in a dreamland, but when we spend the time with clients on these things, because we're popping in all of this effort, we get it to that point so that they actually feel as though they can rely on it. There still needs to be a human in the loop, but we have escalation protocols built in as well. So yeah, do you know what I mean? It is like you have to do really hard work on this stuff, or as you say, you hire a specialist.
100%. Yeah, I can really, from my own experience and hearing you talk, I can that vision of someone, sitting on the beach and just, enjoying their free time that they've now got from AI just seems to be like just evaporated and popped somewhere over there.
Yeah, I mean, even with our clients, I'll say this last thing. Sorry, even with our clients, you know what I mean? Like they kind of think when you do the first job with them, they're kind of like, okay, these guys are magicians. They're about to produce AI magic, and suddenly, like all of our problems are going to be solved. But it's like as we produce these EAs and the other, we're obviously more sales focused now. The kind of like conversational AI and instant reply agents and the things that we do. It's like iteration number one is never perfect. It might go to two, three, four, or even five before we get it to a point where they're like, yeah. And when we get at that point, they're super happy. But they have to, even though we're doing the work, they have to go through the process of testing, giving feedback, giving more examples. Like there is no sure thing, snap your fingers, boom, it's done. Like that is absolute bullshit. I don't know whether we're ever going to live in that land. Maybe in 5 years, maybe when AI is AGI, God knows what we'll be doing there. But for right here, right now, the concept of not being able to work hard and still be successful is bullshit.
Mm. Yeah, and what I'm also hearing is, as well as the upfront work and time and energy that goes into setting these things up, they're still really going to be only effective handling very specific, basic things right now, right? Not
Yeah,
complex business scenarios. I can just think, like you're saying, you've got one thing that's trained just to handle a specific thing in email, and that's it. It does that every day. Once you've got that right, great. On the backside, you get all of that. It's efficient, it's fast, it's 24/7, it doesn't take a break. So you get the kind of back end value of it. But yeah, it's very interesting.
look, I think this is where the AI orchestrator model comes in. The AI version of that, because obviously we talk about the human version of that as well.
Yeah.
Now, if you picture your master AI, which is like my EA, is at the top, right?
Yeah.
And underneath, it's got all of these other tools. It's got my CRM. It's got my voice. It's got my SMS, my calling, my calendar, my LinkedIn, my email. It's got all of those different things, right? you it is like you just have to get it to do one thing, but you do that underneath the orchestrator, right? So the point of the orchestrator model is that you keep knocking off one thing at a time that
Mhm.
takes it that little step forward. And
Mhm.
this is again the mentality that people need when it comes to AI. If I was to right now, without any understanding of what I was doing,
Yeah.
try to build my full EA. Remember, first time I did it was a year ago with Mate, maybe more, maybe a year and a half. And I was just doing email categorization. Then I added some other things in. Do you know what I mean? It was step by step by step. Now It's modular. So I'm like, okay, this tool, then this tool, then this tool. Like, but it is every single time I pick a problem, a real problem. That's the important part, a real problem within my business that I need to solve. And I solve just a little part, just that little one problem, add it to my orchestrator. And eventually my orchestrator is going to orchestrate a lot of those bottlenecks, the manual stuff, the things away from my human creativity and the need to go look somebody in the eyes and shake their hand. Like, it's going to solve a lot of that back end stuff for sure.
Yeah. So if have I understood this correctly? Because I think it's maybe helpful for others to ask these questions. So if you were to hire a human EA to come in and, do all the things that you'd imagine a human EA to do. So you take that job description that you would have put on Upwork or wherever, um, and you break that down to each line item of that job description. And my brain says, even further, break that down. So let's say, like, manage my email account. What within your email account are you managing? It's like, checking for this, flagging that, deleting this, whatever it can do, can't do. Don't judge me. I don't know. Um, but that's basically what you're saying. Like, your orchestrator is going to have the EA orchestrator title, but then there's going to be these lots of little AI agents that are all going to be under there. And each of those job description line items is going to be one or
Mm,
multiple of those agents. So that's, if you think about that, actually, that's pretty, I can see why that would obviously take some time to put together well as well. Um,
mm,
but that gives you kind of a concept of where AI is right now too.
yeah.
You're not just
So,
bringing in one AI for my whole EA job. It's lots, hundreds maybe of.
because you've got to, okay, so essentially you have your EA, your person, right? You break down every single one of the tasks that EA does, right? And then you order them in terms of priorities.
Yep.
What is the most beneficial thing? What is the highest return on investment? So then you've got a list of stuff. Your first time you build your EA bot, it might do one or two of those things, right?
Right.
And it might not do it as well as a human, right? Probably won't. So your EA human starts much higher than your AI. But your rate of learning and progression for your human is just kind of like a steady slope upwards.
Yeah.
A good human EA is going to get better, but there's still just one individual human that needs to eat, sleep, take holidays, and all the rest of it. Your EA bot, as you add more tools onto it, is going to overtake that EA in terms of productivity. So I know it's actually become a bit of a convoluted episode now because we're kind of partly agreeing with the concept that you're going to be able to work less, because from the perspective of this, the EA bot is going to be able to do more than the human over time because it's going to compound.
Yeah. Yeah. The misconception is that it's going to be like an immediate, aha, woohoo, look at all this free time I've got.
Yeah, and I think the other misconception is that it's like, okay, now I've got this super EA bot. Suddenly, I don't have to do my work that the AI can't do. I mean, if you imagine it, the business can function without an EA. Sorry to the EAs out there, but it can't function without the founder.
100%. I don't know if this is going to help anyone, but it's just an analogy that came in my mind, or just a way to describe it. It's like, imagine that you were building a house, right? Yourself, okay? Brick by brick by brick. You're getting all the materials, then you're putting it down and you're laying it, and that's how kind of you're going. And then you get someone to help you, you can go twice as fast. And then again, more and more people, those more and more people are AI bots, right? So then all of a sudden, like, the construction of the house is taking shape, leaving you to stand back and go, okay, and now I want to add a second wing or a third story or a swimming pool or this, because this is what's going to make, the house better in a business sense. This is what's going to make the business stronger, more growth, more revenue, that kind of thing. So it's just really enabling you to step back and have more of a strategic, high level positioning, thinking about where your business is going, not doing less. Unless if you wanted to do less, surely you could make it that way, right? But, for the ones that will
But this is my
grow,
this is my
won't.
point on that whole concept of doing less. If all of your competitors are doing it,
Yep.
right? They're all deploying these bots. Doesn't have to be an EA. That was just one example, right? But they're all they're all taking the crap off their workload. Then if there's two people side by side and one of them decides to go work half days, go surf and just relax, and they're the same intellect, the same type of business, same industry, and then the other one goes, right, I'm going to take this extra time, I'm going to double down on working on my business. You can see quite clearly who's going to be the winner there. That's why this concept is bullshit. AI might improve workflows, make you more efficient, take work off your plate. But the concept of, especially a business owner, is going to suddenly be able to run their business whilst flying around and beach surfing and whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous.
Okay. Got it. So, kind of the purpose of why we have these discussions is really, we're here to support people who are interested in stepping into the AI world, stepping up
Mm,
into the AI, and
mhm.
especially those ones who are like, I'm considering starting a business. Whatever that we've got episodes where we've covered off the different opportunities that we think are the best ones to be looking at right now. And maybe we could do a mini
Mm.
recap just so everyone's on the same page. But so let's take what we've called BS on this. But what is
For
the
far
way?
too long, I rambled.
Hopefully people have found it interesting. All right, so
Either
then
that or we're cutting a lot of it.
yeah, just the intro and the outro. Okay, so then let's reframe it into um, giving people a direction or purpose, like, or what is it that people could be doing based off what we've said that can enable them to get ahead and, yeah, either start a business or start to just make money with AI in that way, helping others with this problem.
Okay, so if we're talking about AI, and essentially we've taken it off the table that AI is going to allow you just to sit back and relax. What should they be doing? Well, it is the concept of working smart, right? I'm a believer that you need to work hard and smart. So, what does the smart part look like? You need to build systems. So, it's the same as any traditional business before AI. If you're working in the business and not on the business, and yeah, that is what everyone does when you start up. But eventually, you have to pull yourself out of that. As we evolve into this AI world, you've got to be much more systematic with what you're doing because it's the AI needs systems. The AI needs good data. The AI needs SOPs, procedures, right? So if we're preparing our new business to eventually be super AI efficient, you've got to have you got to be this kind of well, we say orchestrator, right? But also like an AI architect. You've got to architect your business in the right way with the right fundamentals so that you can, like we were talking about with the modular part, give this module over to AI and this module over to AI.
Yeah. You mentioned something there which I think is really worth diving a bit deeper into, which is
Hmm.
if you're working in your business and not on your business, you're kind of in trouble, or you're not going to grow as fast, right? Anyway, near as fast. And so it comes back to, I love this because we do talk about AI. This is about AI, but a lot of what around this is kind of non AI related, but it's good that people getting into business ought to know these sort of things. Mindset is absolutely, like you've talked about it before, the hero mindset versus the systems mindset. Is that right? In terms of leading. So could you tell us a bit more about that? Because I know that you're probably better at doing that than me.
So the hero, is that what? So you want a definition of the hero versus the system?
Yeah. For people who are, again, you said, if you're working in your business and not on your business, then there's a problem, right? And you want to be the person that's stepping out of that and working on your business. And part of that is shifting your mindset between hero, which is I can do everything for myself, and I'm busy, 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 to the systems mindset of what can I do to get out of this? Because I probably getting in the way, right? As creating these bottlenecks that are suffocating your business growth.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you my story and then something I've heard from Hormozy, which should explain this. So, my story is like any entrepreneur. When I started Engine, I was doing everything. I was selling and I was devising the strategy and the plans, and then I was doing a lot of the fulfillment. And then I was trying to upsell. And you don't have room to breathe when that's happening. You don't have room to take on clients. Luckily, I had a business partner. He at the time was working for this business was his side gig, not so much anymore. But he was very operationally minded, right? Very systems orientated. So he started to put things into place, just like he's done for many, many businesses before,
Mhm.
on like helping me, right? Alleviating my need. We were hiring people for certain elements. So as we grew, certain things started being taken off my plate. Until now, I'm really sales and marketing, which, by the way, I think for most founders is where they want to be, because we're the most passionate. We know the most about the business. Like, if we're not out there on the front lines, building our personal brand, building the brand of the company and selling, then you can guess that the other person is not going to do it as well as you. So, and as long as you can hire the right people. So I actually got back in touch with a long-term friend of mine that moved from here in Australia over to Brazil, somebody that I absolutely love and trust. And he treats this business like it's his own business. And probably in the future at some point, he will own a part of this business. And I know that my clients are safe with him, in good hands. So between my business partner that's got all of the systems in place, we have specific meetings on specific things, they have agendas, we're not wasting any time. He's hired the right people, project managers, key AI specialists. I've got this person over in Brazil that I know, love, and trust, that is looking after my clients. I can really put my hand on my heart and say I am doing way better for the business, focused on my niche role.
So basically, you're saying, get out of your own way.
I did.
But it's
I
great that
was dragged out of my own way, to be honest, but yes.
well, and not everyone has I was gonna say it's a blessing that you had that person and then that secondary person come in as well.
Yeah,
The right people
yeah,
are as extremely hard to find. There are ways in which you can go about getting them, but still, it's a
yeah,
process.
yeah.
So, but if you don't, if those people don't exist in, we're talking to our listener, right? You don't have those people right there, right now, helping them. What are the things that can flag to them, like, I'm in hero mode, not systems mode? Because there are some things that are really clear
I think
indicators.
I think that the Hormozy story is good for this.
Okay.
So obviously he had Layla around him, his wife, who pointed him in the right direction. But what he realized was, as he was getting involved in every part of the business, being the hero, being the go-to, he would go into one system and he would break it down and go, "This is how it's going to make it better." And he
Mhm.
would keep doing that. So he essentially was going around the business, breaking things and building them back up, breaking things and building them back up. What he found was, even if the idea was better, because you had to train people, you had to learn something new. Every single time he did that, there would have been a minimum of a 10% dip in that efficiency, whilst the everyone got used to it, right? So it doesn't matter how good the change is, there was an initial 10% dip. He came up with a bit of a formula for how he would choose what he was going to dig his teeth into. And this comes back to the whole concept of more, better, new. Like he says, do more of what works,
Yep.
then do it better, and then only then do new, right? So he decided that every time he would try something new, he had to first work out that it was going to be more than 10% beneficial to offset the subsequent dip that would come. So for our listeners, I think it's so easy as a new business owner to hear someone online or on YouTube, whatever, saying, okay, this is the best way to get leads, or this is the best service to sell as an AI business. This is the best way to do customer success. You really have to look at what you're doing right now and think, okay, is this really broken? Is this my bottleneck right now? Because if it isn't, just leave it. Just leave it until it breaks. Like I think we've talked about the seesaw between demand constrained and supply constrained businesses.
Yep.
Most people are demand constrained. They need more clients to grow, right? And so if people's first move is to go and try and fix admin and operational procedures, then they're literally choosing the wrong problem, because that's not broken yet. What's broken is getting leads. You need to deploy your AI into sales and marketing. Then, when you have that influx that breaks all of the systems in the back end, then you fix the supply issue. You hire more people or you deploy AI. So, even right at the start, even as a one-man band, you've got to look at the real problem, focus in on that, and just leave the other stuff alone. Get out of your own way.
100%. I love that. There's some that have come to mind as well since you've been talking of adding to that. Just something that you said there made me think, yeah, I've had the experience so many times of working with people, not necessarily always business owners or the kind of leaders, but just general people who focus on the wrong things. And in the process of doing that, they feel good because they feel busy, right? They're like, oh, I've been so productive. I've been busy today. Busy, busy, busy. I'm so busy all the time. And it's a mindset thing of like, I think someone said like they live in kind of this kind of chaos is good, busy chaos and busy, busy is good. Well, actually, like how productive are you being? And taking it a little bit further, again, from personal experience, I have been this person too, where I feel like, oh, I love to come and rescue, save the day, right? I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh, what a hero, what a martyr I am, kind of thing. But it's just wasted effort. It's energy going in the wrong direction. So 100%, I love that. It's really important. Um, and not necessarily doing things with speed, right? Like faster doesn't always equal better. Like you said,
hmm
it's just a process of really breaking things down. Like, is there something that you use that is like or you can think of now that we could share that something that, what are the steps that people to take to really understand, like, is this a problem or is it not? Because obviously yeah, I mean, there's so many rabbit holes you can fall down here in
yeah.
ways of thinking.
I I honestly believe if you're a new business and you're not phoning people up, messaging them on LinkedIn, organizing meetings, if you're trying to do content, if you are trying to build your personal brand and you need sales, you're doing
Yeah.
the wrong thing. If you're
Yeah.
focusing on writing SOPs when you don't even have a client, you're doing the wrong thing. If you're even worse, writing a bloody business plan,
Oh my gosh.
just forget about it. You're never going to finish that plan. You will never finish it. It'll be a 40, 50 word document, page document, and you'll just never ever launch. I don't think there's any trick or hack to this. It's just about, if you want to be successful in any business, AI doesn't matter what. Pick up the phone, jump onto LinkedIn, go find your target ICP, have a clear and focused niche, offer, choose one platform and just go at it until you find the people that want to buy your service. It is as simple as that. It's massive amount of hard work, but it's simple. There's no complexity to how you win.
Yeah. It reminds me when I was launching my business earlier in the year, I got stuck in the business plan. Like I want to know, I want to have it all laid out. And I remember phoning my brother and who's done incredibly well for himself and um multiple businesses. Um and I said to him, like, can you have a look at this? Can you read this? So tell me what you think. He's like, I don't want to swear because he swore, but he's like, I've never done a business plan in my whole damn life. He said, I'll be the worst person to tell you, is this a good business plan or not? He's like, I've just never done it. I've just gone out there and done it and
Well,
learned
yeah,
through doing it. So,
that's why it's successful.
but exactly, now you're making me doubly remember why he is. So, yeah, 100%. Great advice. Okay, I feel like
I say
yep,
one last thing, like the other problem with AI is that because it's a large language model, it likes to
yep,
spit out loads of text. We are now entering this era of everyone wanting to produce documents and strategies and bullshit. And it's like, I don't know if you read some of the stuff that AI, like at a glance, as you're watching it, ChatGPT creating, you're like, smart, 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 great. Then you go back to it and then you try to put it together, and it's like, hold on, this isn't right. Like it's not linking properly. It's missing things, and we're in this point of time where we're all shoveling the same shit out the door, and 20% of it doesn't make any fucking sense. And um and we're not checking it, we're not reading it, we're not refining it. So, like this whole thing about, again, going back to where we started, is AI meaning that we don't need to work hard? Yeah, like it can produce fucking fantastic documents with the drop of a prompt. But if you don't read it properly, you don't refine it, it is going to be utter BS.
Yeah, and I had an experience with that very recently when someone sent me an agreement. I read the first 3 lines and I was like, "Hmm?" And I went back to them, I said, "Look, can you clarify when you say this, what do you mean?" And they're like, "What's that?" I was like, "Well, in the agreement." "Oh, no, that doesn't matter." "Oh, okay, alright." And the oth it just went on, and then they eventually admitted, "Look, I'm sorry, I just didn't read this. I just got, AI to do this
AI to
for
do
me,
it.
and I just sent it to you." And I was like, "Wow, okay. Sure." So you're right. Yeah, and there's a lot we can unpack in that as well, but I think that's actually a very strong point to end on.
To end with. Yeah.
I really do. I do. I think that's something for us all to take away. I'm so guilty of it. I'm so guilty of it. I do love watching it churn out things and go, "Wow," feeling like I've accomplished that, which I really haven't. But it is so pertinent to read and absorb it.
Agreed. I think if people want AI, if they're starting up a new business, any of our listeners, if you're starting up a new business and you're thinking about this concept, first just realize that there's a lot of BS that goes into this. There's a lot of people that are talking those kind of things just to hook you in. 4-day work week, or 4-hour days, or whatever it is. Just know that for the average person, that's BS. But we do have solutions inside of our school community, Make Money with AI, that will help. They're not going to be this magic, the wave of the magic wand that suddenly you're going to have all of your answers and you're going to sit back. But it's breadcrumbs. Like we've done it. I've done it with businesses now. I've been working with AI for nearly a decade. Like I've got some formulas that help, especially with sales, where I specialize. So, for instance, we've just dropped a brand new course on how I set up Go High Level. It's not a long course. It's not like giving you this unbelievable enterprise grade sales strategy. It's like how to get up and running quickly, how to set out your pipelines quickly. There are these kind of resources within our school community that will help you get to where you need to be, but you still need to do the hard work. Well, I think that's a good place to leave it. So I'll see you next time.
Yep. I'll see you up in the AI.